Namaste, everyone. Welcome to our Soundarya Lahari sadhana. Happy to see you all here. We will have a new verse today, which is Śloka number 23, which is a very beautiful moment between Śaṅkarācārya and our Devi. Om Shri Matre Namah. May Devi's blessings be with you all always. So we will start with verse number 23 today. But before that, a quick recap. In the last verse, we saw Devi's two different words, Bhavanitvam. So there is a Bhakta. Here it is Śaṅkarācārya himself is the Bhakta here. So Bhakta wants to pray that, please Devi, show me your compassionate glance. Bhavani tvam dase mai vitara drishtim sakaruna. Those are the 7 words that the Bhakta wants to pray to Devi. But by the time the first 2 words, Bhavani Tvam, is uttered, Devi gives him not only what he has prayed for, but her Sayujya Padavi, oneness with her, is what she has provided to Shankara or the devotee or the Bhakta here. So it is showing her compassion, it's showing her Tvarita nature. Tvarita is bestow the blessing in a quicker way. So her name itself is Tvarita. So that is what was shown in the previous verse, and we looked into some of the esoteric meaning of what is the first word of Bhavanitvam means there. That was a noun, which is addressing Devi as Hey Bhavani. And then second one was Bhavanitvam, as in Bhavani Nas, Kavitvam, Sritvam, like Bhavanitvam. It's the Bhavani Nas, or Aham Bhavani. It was used as a verb, Aham Bhavani. So she took that as the prayer that Bhakta is making, and she granted him much more than what he has prayed for. So that is what we saw in last verse. And this verse, it is another beautiful verse. I love this one because this is showing an intimate moment between Śaṅkarācārya and Devi, Divine Mother. So here, I'll summarize first and then we'll go to the verse. So here you have to kind of bring that scene into your mind. So Śaṅkarācārya is seated, and then in his heart, Devi's Swarupam is appearing. And then he is in a dilemma. Is she an Ardhanārīśvara, or did she steal something from Shiva? We all know the concept of Ardhanārīśvara. There's a picture behind me. Half is Shiva, half is Shakti. We all know the concept. But when the Swarupam that appeared in his heart was not like an Ardhanārīśvara, it is actually the full Devi Rupam. So now he's saying that, okay, wait, so you first of all stole half of Shiva's body, the left side, and now did you steal the other half too? So that is kind of that moment where he's calling Devi a thief, and a Parabhakta like Shankara can call Devi like that, right? It is also simulating, showing us that what should be our mentality, our attitude towards Devi, like how can we develop that kind of bhakti? So it's not only that we will discuss from a esoteric meaning standpoint, what does this mean by Ardhanārīśvara, and also by what does the stealing mean, what is Shiva, what is Shakti, and all that thing that we can explore. But I also wanted to spend time on the bhakti aspect of it, because what we want is that a little drop of bhakti that Shankara had, one more drip of bhakti, right? That will take us closer to Shakti, and she holds the key to unlock Shiva. So to unlock that consciousness in us, to understand that she has the key. So bhakti can take us close to her, and she can take us close to Shiva. So that is what we will explore. So let's look into the verse itself. This is exploring the secret of Ardhanārīśvara. Tvaya hrutva vamam vapuraparithruptena manasa. So vapuhu aparitriptena. That combined becomes vapuraparithruptena manasa sharirartham shambho aparamapi shankhe hridamabhut. Yadetat tvadrupam yat etat tvadrupam. That becomes yadetat tvadrupam sakala marunabham Trinayanam, Kujabhyamanamram, Kudila Shashi Chudala Makudam. Tvaya Hritva Vamam. Tvaya means you. Hritva means Hritva, the root word is Haranam, to steal. So Tvaya Hritva, so after stealing, Vamam Vapus. So Vapus is the body. So Vamam, left side. So after stealing the left side body of who? Shampoo, we know. Aparitriptena manasa. Tripti means satisfied. Paritripti means completely satisfied, and aparitripti means opposite, completely dissatisfied. Manasa. So you stole half of Shiva's body, but you still are aparitriptena. You still are unsatisfied. After that, what does it say? Sharirartham Shambho. Shambhor Abaramapi. So you had originally the Sharirartham, half of Shambho, and then Shambhor Abaramapi. Aparam means the other half. Other half also you stole. Shanke Hrudamabhut. I am suspecting. Shanka means I suspect or I doubt that you have stolen that other half as well. Hrudamabhut. Hrudam means again steal. Abhud means happened. You stole already. So I am suspecting that already you stole half of Shampoo's body. We know that left side is occupied by you in the Ardhanārīśvara. But now I feel that you have also occupied the other half as well. So you took the entire Shiva's body. Why is he saying that? Yade tattva Yat etat twadrupam. Twadrupam means your form. Yat means whatever we are talking. Etat means this. This swarupam that I'm seeing in my heart, what does that form look like? It's sakalam arunapam. Sakala means everything is arunapam. Its entire thing is red. Trinayanam. Okay, it has three eyes. Kujabhya manamram. Kujabhya means two breast that is slightly bent forward. So your body is bent forward with the weight of that kuja yugam because there are two kujam. Then Kutila Shashi Chudala Magutam. Kutila means curved. Shashi is Chandra, moon, which actually means crescent moon. So crescent moon as Chudala Magutam. Chudala means decoration on her crown. So she's adorned with a crescent moon on her crown. So that's why he's suspecting. Ardhanārīśvara Sankalpam, we already know. Like half of it is Shampoo, half is Shakti. And on the Shiva side, there will be third eye, a moon, and Ganga also is there. On her side, there should be no third eye because third eye actually belongs to Shiva. She should have only one breast, right? Because it is half. The color, shampoo is Karpura Gauram. Karpura Gauram Karanavataram. It should be white in color. Karpura is white in color, is Shiva's body. And then your side should be red. So I should see half white and half red. That's what I'm expecting. Śaṅkarācārya is saying, my expectation is that half of the body belongs to Shiva, half should be yours, Shakti yours. But what I'm seeing is that it's Sakala Marunabham. The form that is illuminating my heart is Sakala Marunabham. It's completely red in color. It has three eyes though. Okay, so that tells that it has some characteristic of Shiva's. That is how I know that you stole Shiva's because there are two things that shows it belongs to Shiva. One is Trinayanam, right? Shiva has three eyes. So you still have three eyes. So it looks like you have stolen it because of one Trinayanam. The second is actually three of them. So Trinayanam is one. The second is the Kujabhya Anamram. Kujabhya, there are two Kujam. So otherwise I should have seen only one. But now I am seeing two. The third one is the Shashi. Shashi belongs to Shiva. Shiva's matted locked hair has Shashi. But now I'm seeing Shashi on top of your crown. So it was actually not on top of the crown at all. It was on Shiva's matted hair is where it belonged to. But now it is on top of your crown. And your crown is complete. Right? Otherwise, I should have seen half the crown and half matted lock. But that is not what I'm seeing. So that's why Śaṅkarācārya is saying that you have stolen not only the half, that I know for sure, because we all know about the Ardhanārīśvara Sankalpa. So you're not satisfied with the half of the body. So you took his entire body, right? I know that Shiva is in you, right? but you kind of stole the whole body from that. So that's kind of the intimate moment where Shankaracharya is calling her a thief. And there is a lot of hidden meaning or esoteric meaning that is associated with this. So we'll go a little deeper into that, but then we will come back and talk about the bhakti aspect of it. So for me, that is more beautiful. So Ardhanārīśvara Sankalpam, what does it actually tell us, right? If you remember when we started off this journey of Soundarya Lahari, we started talking about what is the Sankalpam of the whole Prapancham. Before Prapancham was created, there is only Shuddha Chaitanya that existed. The pure consciousness is the only thing that existed. So that is what is we call Shiva. So in that Shuddha Chaitanya, a spandanam happens first, a vibration. The color that denotes that spandanam is red. So a spandanam happened. That is the power of Shiva, Shakti. Because Shiva is that nirguna nirakara rupam, which doesn't have any gunam, any quality, any namam, any rupam, nothing. So because of the power of Shakti, she starts vibrating, and that vibration creates a Shabda Prapancham. And then from the Shabda Prapancham, the Tanmatras, Pancha Tanmatra are formed. Then from the Pancha Tanmatra, the Panchabhutams are formed. And it is a step-by-step process. So which is the closest to the Shuddha Chaitanya is the first Panchabhutam of space, where the molecules are very separated from each other. So space is vast, very similar to consciousness. Space has no limitation. So wherever we see, there is space. So that's the first form. And it condenses again, then it becomes air. Air can flow, but it is more condensed. Then from that Panchabhutam, from space, air, then Agni is formed. Then from Agni, water is formed. And from water, the completely solid Prithvi Tattvam is formed. So from that Panchabhutam, everything that we see, be it the earth itself or the amoeba or the tree, the mountain, whatever we see is made of this Panchabhuta, right? So that is where that Prakriti is formed from that initial vibration from Shakti. So we can say that Shakti is not different from Shiva. So Shiva transformed is Shakti and Shakti unmanifested is Shiva. So Shiva is that Nischala Tattvam, and in that Nischala Tattvam, the dynamic element is Shakti, like two sides of the same coin, like Agni and heat. You can't separate them each other, right? So Shiva is the cause, Shakti is the effect, or Shiva is the unmanifested. She is the not only the power of manifestation, but the manifestation itself. Everything that we see, not only we see, but we hear, we touch, we taste, we smell, we feel with the Panchendriya, but then we remember, we think, everything. That is her. That is Shakti. But every single time we see anything manifested, we have to also remember that there is Shiva behind it. There is consciousness behind it. In fact, the consciousness is all that there is. But pure consciousness transformed or manifested with the help of Shakti is what this transient, the temporary prapancham that we see. So whenever we see anything manifested, anything, because whatever we see around us is the manifestation. Whenever we see anything, we have to always remember there is a tattvam behind all these things. There is a satyam, there is a truth that is behind all these things. That is the Shuddha Chaitanyam or Brahman or Atma or Ishvara. Call it by any name. This is Namatitam. So call it by any name, it doesn't matter. But there is that tattvam that is constantly there, that Nischala tattvam, that is Shiva. So in here, when we say that we don't see Shiva at all, where Shankaracharya is trying to say that Shakti is the one that is manifested. So even when inside his heart, what he sees is a swarupa, right? So not only the things that we can touch and feel, which is more like a physical element, anything that is the subtle is also manifestation. Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, everything is a manifestation. We may not be able to touch. That's also the manifestation of Shakti herself. So all that thing is Shakti. And behind that, there is this constant Shiva always present. So whenever we see, we have to always remember that Nischala Tattva, because ultimately that Shiva is the one that itself manifested in here with the help of Shakti. So this is transient. Whatever we see is transient. It's temporary. It has a jananam, it has a maintenance, and then it has a dissolution. So Srishti, Tidhi, Samhara. Whatever we see, it will disappear one day. I'm talking about us, like me. I'm born one day. I'm now living, but tomorrow I will die, right? And one day I will die. So like that, everything that we see will have an end. But there is one thing that doesn't end, which is that Atma. So he's bringing by saying that, okay, I can't see that Tattvam, but through the Trinayanam and Shashi, I know that there is a trace of Shiva behind. So he's not dismissing Shankaracharya at the same time that he's showing whatever is the Swarupam that is illuminating his heart. He's talking about that Swarupam, but then he's not forgetting that there is that Nischala Tattvam, that Shiva behind anything that I'm seeing. So it's a reminder. So what do we take from here? So whatever we see, yes, it is something that we are seeing, we are experiencing, but that is not permanent thing. That's temporary. Permanent thing is only that Shuddha Chaitanya behind it, always there. Like Bhagavad Gita says that you can't kill Atma, you can't burn Atma, nothing can be done to Atma. That is there forever. It is usually said that na Shivena vina Shakti, na Shaktya rahita Shiva, meaning there is no Shakti without Shiva and there is no Shiva without Shakti. When this same thing was asked, one devotee actually asked Ramana Maharshi the same thing. I have heard this, right? Like there is no Shiva without Shakti, there is no Shakti without Shiva. Is that true? What Ramana Maharshi told was amazing. He said, there is he in she, but there is no she in he. So what he meant by is that the spelling of she is S-H-E. So in S-H-E, there is he, H-E, right? But there is no she in he, which actually says that if we have a manifestation, there is always that Shiva Tattvam behind it. But Shiva Tattvam can stay on its own. It doesn't have to manifest, right? So even when we die, the Atma is still there, right? Atma cannot be destroyed. That is what Ramana Maharshi meant by that. So when we are talking about giving importance to the manifestation, it's all her. That's exactly what Shankaracharya is saying. I can only see Shakti. You just stole the entire body of Shiva, right? But when you are talking about mukti, moksha, enlightenment, that is where we don't see manifestation. We see manifestation, but we don't recognize it as a manifestation because we see that pure consciousness in everything. So that is what there is he in she. That's he is always there. Whether it is manifested or not, he is always there. That's Shuddha Chaitanya. But whenever we see the manifestation, that is what we call it Shakti. So now, then are we reducing the importance of Shakti? No, because what we experience right now is this Dvaita Logam. We cannot see Shiva right now. Shuddha Chaitanyam is not something that we can experience, right? So we see each individual person, everything that we see in nature, it's Dvaita Bhava. What Shankaracharya is saying that Shiva is behind everything. What do we learn as seekers? What do we take it from there? So anything that we see, we have to always remember that Shashi and Trinayana. That should remind us that Shiva Tattva. So even when we are seeing people, we have to see their Chaitanya. So as we see in everything, slowly, we will get closer to that enlightenment. There is a Śloka, I think in chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, Matsani sarva bhutani na chaham teshvavavastita, meaning all beings are in me, but I'm not in them, which means I am the substratum of everything, but I am not in them. This is the same thing that Ramana Maharshi said, there is no she in he. I am not individual beings. I am that substratum that is available in every being. So all beings are in me. We talked about the Khadakasham, Mahakasham. So the Khada actually is staying in space. Space is not inside the Khada. The pot is in space, not the other way around. So that's one element of it. So the takeaway for us is that whenever we are seeing others, whenever we are seeing anything, that we always feel that the substratum is consciousness. So that we always have to remember until it becomes an experience to us. It will let it be an experience to us in this very lifetime. But until then, let's keep reminding us that Shiva is that Nishala Tattva, Shuddha Brahma, the Chaitanya is that Nishala Tattva behind everything. Usually in temples that we do the puja to only Devatas, right? We don't do the puja to that Brahman because the reason is that we can worship puja towards something that needs to have a rupa. So here, there is no puja to Brahman or even to Shiva. If Shiva in Tantra actually means Brahman. So there is no puja for Shiva in Sri Chakra Puja. Even in temples, we don't see Brahman, not Lord Brahma, but Brahman. To that consciousness, we don't do any puja. So we do puja to any devata that has akara. So the one that has nirakaram, we don't do the puja of, right? So here is another thing Shankara is reminding, that the form that he has in his heart is that of Devi, that is with the Swarupa. So we do that puja to only to that Swarupa, right? So that doesn't mean that we forget that Shuddha Chaitanya. So Shuddha Chaitanya is behind everything. And she is also known as, in Lalita Sahasramam, Devi has a name called Shiva Jnana Pradayini. So if we hold on tight to this Devi, she will provide that Shiva Jnana. So Jnanam of Shiva or Jnanam of Brahman or Jnanam of Ishvara will be received by her. So that's why I was saying that she holds the key to unlock the principle of Shiva. So she is the one. So let's hold tight to her so that she can take us one day towards Shiva, so that we recognize that we are Shuddha Chaitanyam, we are Shiva. Tat Tvam Asi, or Aham Bhavani, like last week we saw in the previous verse. So now, enough about Tattvam. We talked a lot about Ardhanārīśvara Tattvam and the Shiva Shakti Tattvam behind the Śloka. But where I want to spend time is talking about bhakti. Bhakti and how this very moment that we can instill that bhakti towards Devi or any Ishtadevata. You have heard a lot of bhaktas like Mirabai, Kabir, Tukaram, not only them, but amazing bhaktas. Like if we take Kerala, Guru Ayyappan, like there are so many bhaktas like Pundanam, Villumangalam, Kururama. And then if you take Tamil Nadu, Nayanmar of the Shaiva, and then Arvar of Vaishnava. And then if you take all the way to Maharashtra, Lord Panduranga, Lord Vittala has so many amazing bhaktas like Namadeva and Janabhai. Namadeva, they all wrote poems called Abhangam, which is flowing with bhakti. Right. So Lord Vittala or Panduranga manifested in front of all these people, the Namadeva and Janabai. Janabai is actually a servant in Namadeva's home, Namadeva's full family servant, right? But both of them has such amazing experience of Lord Panduranga, Lord Vittala. If we take the example of Janabai, she has the experience of seeing Lord Panduranga. And you know what she does? She makes him help her at home because she's a servant. She doesn't have another servant. So she's a servant. So she's doing all the work at home. So when Panduranga comes to her home, she will make him help her at home. How do we know all these things? Through their abhangam, through their poem. We know all their bhakti towards Lord Panduranga. So she will make Lord Panduranga grind the grain for roti or to put oil on her hair. All that things, she made him do that. And then Kururama, many of the Malayalis know the story. Kururama considered Unni Krishna as a grandkid at home. And she is a very elderly grandma. She would make Unni Krishna do all the chores at home, all the work, right? And then when Unni is very mischievous, you know what she would do? She would put him inside the big clay pot, right? So it's like for them, this is like an experience. This is like a personal experience for all these bhaktas. Now, what do we take from these stories in our own life? So should we wait until the blue boy with the flute and the peacock feather appear in our heart? Or Devi with the red color and the Trinayanam appear in our heart? Do we wait until then? actually from the life of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, that's not actually it means, right? We don't wait until that shows. May Devi's blessing be with you all to have that darshan to you all one day, but we don't have to wait for that. What we can do right now is that anybody that whatever interaction that we are doing on a daily basis, let's say you are talking to spouse, if they are talking something good, take them as Devi or take them as your Krishna, right? So you start from there where you are seeing that divinity in others. So slowly, first we see, then whenever the good thing happen, we see them, and whenever the bad thing happens, you can also actually slowly do that, saying that you are angry with that Panduranga, or you are angry with your Krishna or your Devi, whatever, you all your emotions, put it towards that rupa. Start with that rupa. So all that emotions, all that feelings, because you may be seeing your spouse, but see that Krishna behind that. See that Devi behind her, your wife. So seeing that slowly, we can develop that bhakti. So I feel this is a more pragmatic approach than waiting to see that darshanam of Devi or Krishna on our daily life. So may you all have that darshan one day, but right now, reverse it. Whatever you see, just think that is Krishna. Right now, start thinking it more like fake it until you make it, right? Consciously you think it, and then one day unconsciously you will see Krishna in everything, or you will see Devi in everything. So let that happen in this very lifetime. May Devi's blessings be with all of us to get that moment happen. With that, we'll see that verse one more time. Tvaya hritva vamam vapura paritryptena manasa sharirartham shambhor अपरमपि शङ्के हृदमभूत् यदेतत्त्वद्रूपं सकलमरुणाभं त्रिनयनं कुजाभ्यामानम्रं कुटिलशशिचूडालमकुटाम्. Hey Devi, even after claiming the left half of Shiva, I can't help but question if you have taken his other half as well. The divine figure that illuminates my heart is entirely red in color. It possesses 3 eyes. It leans slightly forward under the weight of your 2 bosoms because she is nourishing the entire universe. And she's adorned with a crescent moon on its crown. I have a picture of Ardhanārīśvara. So you can see the half crescent moon, the moon on one side, and Ganga on his head. And one side is the one bosom showing up on Devi's side on left half. That is how the Ardhanārīśvara is. But when in Shankara's heart, when Devi shows up, she shows up fully red in color, full Devi in form, but few of the traces to see that there may be a Shiva principle behind. That is one is her Trinayanam. She has Trinayanam. Moon still present in her, because earlier on her side there is no moon. So now the moon is still there. Those are the traces to see that there is a Shiva still within her. So that Nishchala Tattvam is always there within Devi. So that is what it is showing.
त्वया हृत्वा वामं वपुरपरितृप्तेन मनसा शरीरार्ध्रं शम्भो अपरमपि शङ्के हृतमभूत् यदेतद्वद्रूपं सकलमरुणाभं त्रिनयनं कुजाभ्यामानम्रं कुडिलशशिचूटालमकुटम्.
सर्वं श्री जगदम्बिका पादारविन्दार्पणमस्तु.